So I just want to remind both of the
We were
candidates.
just asking if we had a rebuttal opportunity.
There is no rebuttal. So you'll be asked the question. You'll have 90 seconds to respond, and and then we'll move on to the next question. The last question, you'll have 2 minutes opportunity to debate.
Goes quickly.
So we'll move on to the next question. Thank you very much to the audience for the applauses and no heckling. Question number 2. For Muslims, about 12% of Mississauga's population, as well as Hindus, Sikhs, Jews, and many Christians, the idea of livable places or neighborhoods include being able to walk to a mosque, temple, synagogue, or church. Would you support allocating spaces in the high-density developments for people to build their houses of worship? We'll start with Mr. Mahoney.
I actually think that's the solution to the problem that we see in many areas. Traffic and parking, rather, are so difficult. I was at Streetsville on Friday in a very small mosque, I think 150 members, and it's very convenient. You can walk to it. There's plenty of parking. It takes away the pressure of the issues that we've seen at ISNA and other places. So yes, the answer is I think we need to address that for places of religious worship. We also need to recognize that there's something very unique about the Muslim experience in terms of prayers on Friday prayer. For example, if someone passes away, you have a requirement to take care of them within 24 hours. So it's not an option that you plan a funeral like in the Christian religion where you can plan it 3 or 4 days or even a week down the road. It's a requirement of your religion, and I understand that. And that then exacerbates the problem if you go on a Friday and there's 1, 2, or in one case there was even 3 funerals that were taking place. So it has to happen. We need to recognize that and find out how can we build more smaller mosques throughout the city so that we don't create this kind of difficulty for parking and for traffic, because we also know that you need to get back to work on Friday, that this is a short window for you to come and meet your obligation to pray and to get back to work. So I think it's a great question and it's a great solution.
Thank you, Mr. Mahoney. Ms. Crombie.
When our city was being built over 40 years ago, land was set aside for subdivisions, and there was always space set aside for churches. But yet today our demographics have changed, and we need to make room for mosques and gurdwaras and mandirs as people pray differently, but we're all still praying to the same God. So yes, of course, as we continue to find affordable housing in our new live-work communities and our new livable, walkable communities, we need different kinds of solutions. First of all, we all know that there are not enough mosques, and hence why we have the problems that we have with parking when people descend on the mosque at 2 p.m. to leave their car, abandon them, run inside to pray. If there was only more mosques for people to pray at, we wouldn't have this problem. Now the issue is the little masala. Of course, that's a wonderful solution. When you see at Shalimar, they have their own dedicated small mosque so that people of their community can have rooms set aside in which to pray. I see a lot of other solutions as well. Why not at community centers or in the basements of churches or wherever, that we set prayer rooms aside so that Muslims could pray on Friday afternoons. It's almost not necessary to build big infrastructure when you can be accommodated in the existing buildings today, whether they're at community centers or at living arts centers or at school or in or wherever, small rooms in condominiums. There are other places that we can set aside so that Muslims can pray to Allah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.